Hey guys, welcome back to the episode. So when I'm recording this, we're just got through the month of July, which was like the hottest month ever recorded in the history of all histories. And, hopefully we can start to move past that. But the first topic we want to discuss on this episode is Taylor Swift. So Taylor Swift's new, it's not new anymore, but it's the Eras Tour. What she did, according to this article from USA Today, was gifted the truck drivers that set up the stage and all the equipment $100,000. Reportedly, there was a meeting of one of the trucking companies, and they all met up, and Taylor Swift's dad came into the meeting and gave a big speech of how much they appreciated the workers and what they've all done and all the sacrifices that they've made. And then he proceeded to hand out handwritten letters from Taylor Swift and signed by Taylor Swift, thanking them. And at the bottom, that's where she left the amount that she had given them, $100,000. And one of the things in the article I thought was pretty hilarious was, some of the drivers were reading this note from Taylor, and I think they just skimmed through it and got to the bottom and overlooked it. Some of them didn't see the amount. Some of them reported that they thought the amount was like $1,000, a nice gesture. And then I guess there was one guy that was like $100,000. It's got to be a joke, right? And then that led to everyone, taking their letters back out, opening them back up, and realizing, what this has done for their lives. And, what I thought in that moment, is, what a gracious gift from Taylor Swift, all those Swiftie fans out there, shout out to you. And then the other thing was, for all you tax professionals out there, what do you think this classifies as? Is it something that they would consider a gift, or is this going to be considered, compensation to those people? Just curious what you guys would think, how that would pan out for everyone involved in that situation. Moving on to our business growth section of the episode, what I'm going to discuss today is currently the IRS Nationwide Tax Forums are going on. As I'm recording this on August 10th, this is the final day for the National Harbor DC area show, and we're attending that one. But there's two more shows coming up, the San Diego show out in California and the one here located in Orlando. We're really looking forward to going to both of those. So if you checking out those shows, make sure you stop by the CrossLink booth and just chat it up with us. But one of the things I wanted to discuss about these tax forums, it's a very good way for you to network with like-minded people in the industry. If you've never been to the tax forums, there's plenty of opportunity for you to get educated, right? They have all these continuing education classes for those of you that need to collect those CEs and to gain the knowledge that you want going into tax season. But with that, there's exhibitors in the exhibit hall. And in this area, there's all the companies that do business in the tax industry. And there's tons of people that you can meet, greet, and to find out, what kind of products and services are out there to help your business grow. Maybe you're having issues with software, or maybe you're having issues with, your bank product offerings. All the banking partners are there. Maybe it's audit assistance that you need to look into, or maybe there's some new technology coming out that you haven't even heard of, and you will find these in these exhibit halls. So this is a really good way for your business to grow. So if you haven't been checking it out, maybe you came into the business in the last couple of years and you're used to the virtual and you're just taking the virtual events. And yeah, there are the virtual exhibit halls, but it's nothing like the ones in person. So make sure if you do go to these, it's a great way to expand your knowledge, expand your reach, and to get to know the community. countless people have come back from these things, and met so-and-so and established relationships here with this company and, led to something big for their business. So as the section for business growth, this episode, IRS Nationwide Tax Forums, if you haven't went, get there and check out the exhibit hall. Moving on to let me go back a little bit on the IRS tax forums. So if you've been to these IRS tax forums and you are a listener, make sure you drop a comment. Which tax forums do you like the most? What location? Why? I'd just like to hear what you guys think, and maybe we can touch on it on another episode. Moving on to the next piece of the episode is, and I apologize if the sound is bad. It's going through one of those Orlando, Florida rainstorms as we speak in the studio. So if the sound's a little off, that's why. But moving on to the technology piece of today's episode, in recent news, PayPal actually made news debuting their very own stablecoin, PayPal USD. And this is the first stablecoin to be issued by a global financial platform to date. So what is a stablecoin? Stablecoins are cryptocurrencies whose prices are pegged to an underlying asset. In this case, PayPal is using the US dollar. So it makes it a little more safe as far as the coins go. As we all have seen from the recent past, cryptocurrency is fluctuating, boom, 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 and then it's kind of went down in the in recent. So many mainstream companies have tried to push out some stable coins in the past. Specifically in 2019, Meta, or also known as Facebook, tried to push out their stablecoin Libre, and they were shut down after regulators raised fear it could upset the global financial stability. So why is PayPal now able to establish their own stablecoin? According to an article published by Reuters, the federal has cleared a process for banks to transact in stablecoins. And I quote, "State banks that are a member of the U.S. Federal Reserve System should obtain a written supervisory non-objection from the federal before issuing, holding, or transacting in dollar tokens used to facilitate payments such as stablecoins." The Fed also said it is creating a new supervisory program to oversee the activities of the banks it supervises related to cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, and tech-driven non-bank partnerships, with the aim of complementing its existing supervisory process and strengthening the oversight of tech-driven activities. So this announcement came out just days after PayPal announced, and I bet someone, over at PayPal, they're probably really close to this topic, and knew this was going to happen. So they wanted to be kind of first to market to gain the market share of this industry. And so what can be done with this new PayPal USD? And this is right off the PayPal article, which I'll leave in the show notes. You can transfer PayPal USD between PayPal and compatible external wallets. You can send person-to-person payments using the PYUSD, which is the PayPal USD. So get ready for your Venmo app to update. You should be able to share those. Fund purchases with PayPal USD by selecting it at checkout. Convert any of PayPal's supporting cryptocurrencies to and from PayPal USD. So the shift towards digital currencies require a stable instrument that is both digitally native and easily connected to fiat currency like the US dollar, said Dan Schulman, president and COO of PayPal. Our commitment to responsible innovation and compliance, and our track record delivering new experiences to our customers, provides the foundation necessary to contribute to the growth of digital payments through PayPal USD. So, yeah, I just kind of curious on your thoughts on the whole PayPal stablecoin. I know cryptocurrency has left a lot of bad taste in a lot of people's mouths recently, but PayPal coming out with this stablecoin, kind of attached to like a USD dollar, so it's not fluctuating in price, and being able to transfer that back and forth in pretty much all transactions through technology is probably a good thing, and it'd be interesting to see who also follows them. So take a look at that and let me know what you think in the comments. So moving on to some recent IRS news. The recent article released by the IRS was currently on the topic of them launching a paperless processing initiative. And this is said to give taxpayers the option to go paperless for IRS correspondences by the filing season 2024. And the IRS would achieve a paperless processing for all tax returns by the filing season 2025. And let me just read an excerpt out of the article. This would be for filing season 2024. Taxpayers will be able to go paperless. Taxpayers will be able to digitally submit all correspondence, no non-tax forms, and responses to notices. As a result, the IRS estimates more than 94% of individual taxpayers will no longer ever need to send mail to the IRS. That's a giant win for the IRS as far as processing goes, and as far as the taxpayers submitting this mail. I mean, it takes so long to do the whole process of sending the mail, having them process it, and then sending it back. And even if there's something that they need to follow up on, I mean, it just prolongs the whole process. So this initiative is really good in that aspect. What they're also doing is taxpayers will be able to e-file 20 additional tax forms. Achieving this milestone will enable up to 4 million additional tax documents to be filed digitally every year. This includes amendments to Forms 940, 941, 940SS, and 941 PR, which are some of the most common forms taxpayers file when amending returns. This is also another good thing is, them going to the direction of all digital. This coming 2024 filing season, adding these 20 additional forms, definitely a big win for the community. So the next phase of this initiative is for filing season 2025, and by that filing season 2025, an additional 150 of the most used non-tax forms will be available in digital, mobile-friendly formats. The IRS estimates that 15% of Americans rely solely on their mobile devices for internet access. This will make forms available in a mobile-friendly format is key to serving these taxpayers. IRS will digitally process all paper file tax and information returns. Achieving this milestone will enable up to 76 million paper documents to be processed digitally every year, improving service, cutting processing times in half, and expediting taxpayer refunds by several weeks. That just said it. I mean, this initiative is something that the community needed, and it just looks really good on the IRS as, these are the steps that they're taking to complete what the community is asking for. So kudos to them, and kudos to you for staying with me on this episode. And hopefully we can get a episode. I'm thinking about doing one, at the IRS show in Orlando that we have here. So hopefully I can pull that off. If not, I'll see you on the next one live here in the studio in Orlando. Thank you for journeying with us on another episode of the Taxverse podcast experience. Did you like this episode? If you did, we encourage you to leave us a 5-star rating on Apple so that we can continue to deliver you content. And as a reminder, we also record our podcast in video format. You can check out all the episodes today over on the CrossLink Tax YouTube channel. Again, thank you for checking out the podcast.